I'm I'm deep in the dopamine trap.
Yeah, you and me both.
Are you really
So,
right now?
um, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm aware of it. You know what I mean? I'm at the stage where like I'm aware of it, and
Mm.
that's an early stage. I haven't reached, and I'm starting to get to the stage more where like I'm able to exercise restraint and willpower with it, which that's like exponentially more beneficial than, I mean, it's obviously it's a great starting point just to realize what your attachments are, but like when you're able to like resist them, it's really empowering. My guest today is my longtime fellow cohort and traveler, Michael Rasley. Um, Raz, man, what's up?
Thanks for having me, Cam. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, of
excited
course.
to talk about this. I know we've had a lot of back and forth about detoxing, and I know you're into qigong. We even kind of talked a little bit about how to detox through different qigong practices and how, yoga is really important to detoxing physically, but then there's the whole mental component that can kind of almost get in the way of those practices and of just feeling really good, for instance,
Right,
social media, these kinds of things. So
right. Well, with that too, it's like you just have to come at it from, you have to be in the right spot, kind of. It's like it is a really powerful solution, but like if your head's not in the right place, like just being alone with your thoughts and those type of practices like can really make the problem worse, like we talked about.
yeah,
So anyway,
we talked about qigong and yoga and those practices that they can actually exacerbate issues and really cause a lot of neurosis, right? If you already have neurosis and then you do some of these practices, you can kind of it amplifies that. And I think that that
right,
actually really lines up with the topic that we're talking about in
for sure.
digital detox, this kind of stuff, where look, if you've got an unstable mind and you got a lot of deep opinions and this kind of stuff, right? And you're blasting it out, you got a soapbox that you can blast out to theoretically billions of people. I mean, if something went
Right,
viral, who knows? If you have 1,000 posts or something, maybe it reaches that many people.
right,
And not that that's bad, right? Everyone should be able to say what they want to, but I think that technology can really create a lot more neurosis than the base level that we come in with when we
right,
approach those technologies.
right. Well, and I mean that's a one of the smaller things too is just like it reinforces your viewpoints and your delusions, you know what I mean? And it's really just like the social media echo chamber. I mean, that's one of the benefits. And I was hoping to get into this later, but which we can, or we can just brush over it now. But like, um, when you unplug from that, it gives you a lot more perspective by just like connecting in the real world with other people around you, or just connecting with nature too, versus just like constant reinforcement of the same opinions and the same viewpoints that you're surrounding yourself with all the time. And one thing too, like I read, is that when your opinions are reinforced like that, it does release dopamine too. So I mean, you could see why people are more likely to just like seek out the things that already back up or validate, what they think in the first place. But
Right. Yeah,
so
I can
yeah,
definitely see that happening. Sorry, I
for
have
sure.
some sound on my computer. This sound comes on. I don't know why. but it seems to come on whenever I'm using my computer for long periods of time.
Is it
And I've looked it up. It's like a, you'll hear it maybe. So for
okay?
anybody listening, sorry for the background bling. It comes on every once in a while here, and
Bling
my
bling.
computer kind of chirps. So
Okay, I was thinking when you said, I thought you meant like when you run it too long, it's like the fan or something, but it's like an actual blip,
I have
beep,
no
chirp.
idea what it is. I've looked it up, and it's just the CIA watching me because we're talking about digital detoxing.
Yeah, for sure. That has to be it. So I don't know. So you just I know we talked the other day too, and I don't know if you how much you want to I know we're kind of pressed for time today too, so I don't want you to talk too much about your background if you don't want to, but I know you just were in Bali, in Ubud, and also in the Netherlands. And we kind of talked about how like that kind of at least probably more so the Netherlands kind of just like reaffirmed your need for green space and the natural world, I guess you could say. So I don't know if you want to talk about that, like maybe relevant insights you got from that. The other thing too, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on in the first place was just because you were saying how you were doing an upcoming project that was centered around digital detoxing. So um, I don't know if either one of those are enticing for you to start talking about or um, wherever you want to start.
Yeah, I mean, so I've had a love-hate relationship with social media and tech use for a long time. I think the first time that I had a Instagram account, I mean, I've had everything from MySpace to YouTube to Instagram to you name it, I've had it,
We're
right?
that old.
And I've probably yes, and I've deleted many accounts. I've probably deleted three Instagram accounts. I have one now, and I just got off like a 2 month no use. I checked for messages twice, but I didn't use it at all, Instagram specifically. But I found myself using social media apps like YouTube, like Tinder. I hopped onto because I'm single now, and I was using that a fair amount. I met a couple of women on there, and it was actually really nice because then I did have some in-person connections. But
Yeah,
the amount of time that actually went into the use of social media versus just approaching on the street, I would guess, just a guess, probably like 10 to 1. It was 10 times, took 10 times more online versus just approaching someone, maybe up to 50 times more. This is just like, trying to set stuff up, chatting, and then people
right.
flaking and this kind of stuff. Um, so I
And
think
what
just
was,
that alone, even, sorry,
sorry, go ahead. I was just
well,
gonna
just
ask
that,
what was, sorry. Uh, what was the payoff though? I mean, was there 10 times the
well,
result online
no,
versus
no,
in
no.
person? Was it better in
I'm
person?
saying, no. I'm saying better in person. I don't care how low skill you are at meeting people. I guarantee you, it would pay off literally to just approach a person that you were interested in and just say, "Hey, how are you?" and like have a sexy voice and just have a
Yeah,
conversation because it's actually that's like the first date, right? So you get to meet people in real life, see what they're like. You see their real picture, yeah. So this is
right.
just an example of a social
It's
connection in real time that's so much better, and you get a
right.
real feel for people.
Well, and that's something too I wanted to really wanted to speak to was that um it's a lot harder to posture obviously in line too, and it's you get a real feel for what they're actually like, you know what I mean, versus there I did this thing too like in preparation for this where it's like I think a big pitfall of social media is the inability to have shared experiences with other people. Um, that connecting in real time, but also, just like the oxytocin that comes with person to person interactions and the serotonin that comes with that instead of just like, the dopamine release when someone like likes your post or comments on your post or whatever, or like you said, you get feedback from Tinder or whatever. Like, um, I think there's the hierarchies basically that I laid out is kind of just like person to person conversation. Next best thing from that would be like FaceTime or video chatting. Phone calls would follow that, then text messaging, because it's still just a one-on-one interpersonal connection, but it's not necessarily in real time. So it's not quite as authentic as an experience. You can kind of filter it a little bit. And then from there, it would just be like social media posts or whatever, where it's like not exclusive like that, and everyone can see it. It's not that like one-on-one tight knit social or pair
It's
bonding or social
voyeurism.
bonding connecting. Right.
It's basically like public voyeurism, like a social contract that we have that is like, look, I'm sharing my life with you and you can view it at your leisure, right? Like I've
Exactly.
agreed to allow you to like see, buddy, you're also seeing what I want to show you too. So it's like
Right.
it's not even remotely real. Like it's not
Right.
like
And people should know that too, because I mean, a lot of the stuff, obviously not everyone, but a lot of the people are trying to like flex and set themselves up to be something. Um, and they should know that other people are doing the exact same thing. But often, like even in my case, it's like you don't think that. You just think, oh, all these people are doing this amazing stuff that I'm not doing and I'm missing out on. Like, and the grass always looks greener, I guess you could say. But
oh man, I mean it's a total flex. And to be super honest, lately I've been flexing. I've been flexing on purpose. And here's my thing is like part of my reason for even using social media is to attract, right? Because on social media nowadays, um, the people like some of the oh hey, what's up?
I got
The
to get that
people who
serotonin vitamin D on here. It's
yeah, I
too
love it,
nice.
dude.
It's way too nice
That's Copenhagen style, man. If you come to
for sure.
Thailand, it's like, man, people will teach seminars with shirtless. Like you walking, you're like, damn, okay, this
I
guy's shirt.
bet.
All right, all right.
I
Um,
bet.
but yeah,
You're a
like
weird. You're
I
a
think,
weirdo if you have your shirt on.
yeah, totally. And it's so fucking hot. But yeah, it's really I this is one big thing that I did realize when I went off is that I'm totally 100%. If you're posting, you are to some degree, it's social proof. Period. You can think what you want. To some degree, it's validation, right? For me, it's social proof. I don't really get uh validation. It's not doesn't really feel that great. It's nice to see too that some of my friends may be interested in what I'm doing or whatever, but I do see that piece. And that was
Hmm.
my biggest takeaway from this last time through was like, and now I took time off. And now the thing is, I have all this content. Yeah. So I'm posting it out there. It's very curated. It's even to some degree like planned out, right? Like I have kind of what I want the gram to look like in this stuff.
Right.
And some of it too is showcasing some of my new stuff that I'm doing too. Like I'm taking photos now. Yeah, I'm into photography and I'm
Yeah, I saw
showing.
that. I like those shots that you had. Those were super
Yeah,
that you
so
posted
it's
with
art
portraits or
too,
whatever.
right? Yeah, it's art too. So I'm sharing that side now. It's not just the status and that kind of stuff. But again, like for dating and stuff like this, man, if you don't have social media, right? I'm talking like 20 to 30-year old women. If you
Yep.
don't have that and have like a semi okay social media profile, it's going to be a lot harder because then they can kind of vet you before.
Right.
Every single girl that I've spent time with and gone on a date with has my Instagram before we meet. And even if we've met, I will always kind of give it to her so that she feels safe, right? And not just for social proof, but so she fucking knows I'm like a real human that has friends and this kind of
Right.
shit, you know?
Right.
So it's not only social proof, it's safety, you know, for dating. And
for sure.
yeah, but so when it comes to detoxing, it can be hard because it is a way to communicate. I message on these apps, right? So it is an integral part of one of my connection streams: Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram, you know?
Right. So basically, so since you came back, is there any like insights that you've had, just in terms of like how you feel? I mean, I know you're using, like you said, social media still to connect to people, but like you feel a better connection or like a stronger connection after the fact, like when you're just out meeting people like on the street or whatever.
Yeah, it's way better.
Okay,
It's way better, but what I also realized, and I think we talked about this the other day, was you can start to build these connections in real life, right? But when you build out enough real life connections, there's always going to be a digital component to that now, because now I
for
got
sure.
three more friends that I met at my gym, or three more girls that I met out wherever. And hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Now I
Right,
got three more people to talk to. So from there, it's what are the rails around my communication? And man, I'll tell you, there's not a lot of rails, and this is the issue,
right,
right? What's the rail system, you know? And my rail system has been, and I've done it off and on for weeks, sometimes a day on, a day off. No phone until 12. Until 12 noon, no phone, right? And that alone has made a world of difference.
for sure. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with, like you said, setting those constraints for yourself and then also verbalizing that to other people too, like letting them know that between these hours, you're not gonna be able to contact me. Just because again, it is easy to like, it's a slippery slope when you go on whatever Instagram to DM someone. It's really easy to just like go to your feed, you know. Um, it's a fine dance for sure. And I think, like you said too, I personally noticed just like doing your best to restrain yourself from being on devices like early in the morning makes a world of difference, just in terms of like mental clarity, ability to wake up, like just get in tune with the universe, I guess, really. Um, yeah. And I think too, like the more, this is another thing I wanted to talk about too, but like the more you do it, the easier it is to not get sucked into that. And like you kind of start to retrain your brain that like I don't always need to pick up my phone first thing in the morning, Like personally, I have done enough spiritual work where I'm tapped in enough to my like intuition or intuitive intelligence where I just know I feel like shit when I'm pick up Instagram and my phone first thing in the morning. I mean, just like, and I'm, and I don't know too if it's like I've developed more ADHD just from like overstimulation, but like just videos, like seeing videos on Instagram the first thing in the morning just is like way too much for me. And like, it's easy for me to avoid it now. I mean, probably easier than a lot of people, but like, it's just, I don't end up in a good place. And like I said, like all the stuff I kind of had been thinking of at night or like in the morning when I got up is just like kind of escapes me, but,
Yeah, I mean,
and
man, how long have we even really had access to videos like in our bed like this? Literally access to any type of video, right? right
Right.
here, any information right here, anything that comes into my mind, I could wake up at 3 a.m. and look up what
Right.
was the Beastie Boys' first album, like
Yeah.
even though I know you have that one logged away.
That's in the memory bank somewhere. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I said, it seems like a thing of restraint to me. Like, and it's tough too, because I'll have I'll have an insight or just like a creative idea that I want to jot down as I'm falling asleep, but it's like I also don't want to like give my subject myself to that stimulation just the phone like or in the middle of the night, like you said, like I don't want to subject myself to that stimulation and like have to type it in my phone. I know that I'll do like a voice dictation and I know that it's not going to come out right. So I'm going to have to come back and edit it and shit. And it's just like everybody, I mean, it's pretty common knowledge at this point where like how blue light affects your ability to wind down and fall asleep and stuff too. Um, so it's tough, but at the same time, I'll try to at least like jot something down and just like let it be because it also makes it difficult to like fall asleep or fall back asleep when you have these ideas that you are like worried that you're going to forget if you don't put down, you know? Um, so it's a
Well,
fine
and that's
dance.
that's the other thing, man. That's the other monkey mind, right? I mean, it's why, who cares if you forget it, right? It's in the middle of the night, right? That's sleep time, right? But we think that we
Yeah,
need to always have these ideas. And it's because I think there's ideas fucking jammed into our head by even just the amount of images that we see. And
right,
images, right? Like what do they say? A picture is worth 1,000 words.
right,
So, I mean, image is worth 1,000 words, right? We could connect 1,000 words to an image, and how many images do we see a day, right?
for
I
sure.
mean, man, I can tell you, I bounced around all day today. I know that I've been using too much. I check my phone. I don't even want to look now, but I know when a day is really bad, because I check the data, yeah.
Hmm.
I'd say the pickups on my phone are between 60 to 100 pickups.
I feel like in the scheme of things, that's probably not even that bad. I mean,
Hey
obviously
man,
it's a lot,
but
but I think a lot of people out
it's a
there, it's quite a
lot.
few more than that.
It's
Yeah.
a lot. And I think anything like for me below, I'd say 25 to 40 is awesome. I'm
Job well
fine with
done.
that.
Yeah.
Right? But you double that, man, and it's like your whole day is interrupted.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, the more you do that, the less boredom you're allowing yourself to have. And in my experience, I mean, that's when the real novel insights come, you know, like the more you're checking your phone, a lot of the times those ideas that you get is going to be stuff that's recycled from other people, you know? And kind of coming back to what you said earlier, like, who cares if you forget it? It's like, I feel like the good ideas are going to stick with you, you know? And if it's something that is really that important, it's going to come back. Um, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm the same as you though. I'm not trying to say it doesn't matter because but in the middle of the night, right? It's like, why the fuck do I even have my phone in my room? Get an alarm clock. I've got a watch. When I've been
Hmm.
really good and I've been able to go not use my phone in the morning, you want to know where the fuck my phone is? My phone is not anywhere where I can see it in the other room. Same with my computer. I don't bring tech into my room. I wear this watch. I sleep with a flashlight next to my bed. If I really want to check, I have to turn my flashlight on to check. And normally I check when the light starts to come into my room. I have like
Okay.
a thing on, right? But that's the money too. There's actually a lot of research on basically the amount of screens that you have in your room, the dumber you are. Like this shit dumbs you down. The
Yeah.
technology in the bedroom dumbs you down. They keep let's just look at it from a sleep standpoint, right? Let's say you're on your phone, the blue light keeps you up. Let's say you're losing an hour of sleep every night per week. That's 7 hours. Let's just say you lost 1 hour of sleep. So you're only sleeping seven. Not that you have to sleep 8 hours, but 8 hours is really nice, especially if you're training
Right.
hard, you're working out. You need that
And it's
sleep.
and it's situational for
7 hours a
for
week.
other people too, you know? Yeah, for sure.
It's like
It's
a full night
cumulative.
that you lost after one
Yeah.
after 1 week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's the other thing too. Like when I'm talking about guardrails and this digital detox, um, it's just guardrails and it's systems. It's systems, period. Like for me, my biggest system for staying out of trouble, go to bed at 10, wake up at 6 a.m. I don't go drinking. I don't go out to parties. Um, and I don't always stick to it, but like try to be in bed by 11 or 12, right? I got a cute girl or something, and maybe I'll stay up. But I don't, it just keeps me out of trouble. The other night I went out, had some beers, and sure enough, the next day I felt like shit and I stayed out. I didn't even stay out that late, but I stayed up late, and so I didn't stick to the system. What is your system? Your personalized system, right?
Right.
Because and sometimes you fall off the system, but that system is still there and you come back to it. Yeah.
Yep.
Like for me, my other system for staying out of trouble, first thing I do, and to get me moving, I just fucking put my shoes on and I go out and I start biking. And I bike for 30 minutes and I just do it no matter what.
Yeah,
But if
no
I
matter
don't
what
do
you
it,
feel
my
like.
energy is different. I reach for coffee right away or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, all you can always reach for something to try and compensate too, you know. And going back to your point too with the system, it's like it's I think also having that recognition that if you do fall off the wagon, like you can always get back on. Like you don't have to spiral out of control. Like it's just everybody relapses no matter what it is at some point, and it's just a matter of, like, of will, you know.
Well, and the other piece that we haven't talked about yet is too like it's fucking cheesy, but the purpose. You know what? Why the
Yeah,
fuck do you even
intention.
care?
Yeah, intention
Why
for
do I
sure.
even care? Right? Because if I just want to be mindless my whole life and I don't want to feel anything and I just want to feel every second. And really, truly, I actually know deep down that I'm fine with that. That's where I'm at. Then awesome, right? And that's like a Buddhist thing, right? Hey man, do what you need to do. You got all of eternity. Yeah. Like
Right.
don't rush. You know, I'm in Thailand, right? I mean, people are not rushing here, man. People are not rushing by any means. Um, but if you do want to have something like, for instance, got no phone till 12. Imagine you wake up at 6 a.m. You got 6 hours every day, 6 times 7. That's 42 fucking hours. That's a full work week, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Really? Like that's a full work week. Let's say I even ate an hour out of that. That's almost still a full work week, you know? And I could train, I can read, I can write. And I have and I literally have if I totally went no screens, whatever, I'm totally in my own world.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no
You're
imagery coming in. Yeah, it's
right,
literally my own, maybe even no headphones, no anything. It's
right.
just fucking analog, like the way things used to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's getting back in touch with yourself, you know, and being able to generate those insights, I guess, you know. And I think too, it's like also just in terms of like being persistent with staying away from the cheap dopamine, it's just a matter of like taking inventory to see how you feel, you know, like you said with the drinking thing, you know, even after like two drinks, I can feel the difference how I feel the next day. versus not drinking at all, you know? And it's just like you said, also a matter of intention and just bringing your consciousness back to like the difference in how you felt and how much better you felt about yourself, and just like how much more lucid you were versus like after a night of even just 2 or 3 drinks, you know. I think that could be a really powerful tool too, just getting back in tune
Basically,
with
if you
your
feel
your
good,
intuition.
you want to keep feeling good. Yeah. You
Yeah,
feel you feel good and then you feel bad. You might want to keep kind of feeling bad because you don't really know that other point, right?
right,
Because you're already here. So you're like, well, that's fine. Like, and you
right,
might not even notice. But when you're here, right, you can feel the difference.
for sure.
But I think that's the right, you talked about falling off the wagon, right? That's the thing. I think from time to time we do need to kind of fall off. Yeah. Not always, but you almost have to feel that from time to time until you're ready to
Hmm.
not, right? Well, you do it enough and then you realize that it's insanity.
Right,
Yeah. Um, but
right,
again, the system, coming back and hitting that system, right?
right,
Like you have a qigong system, you had your stretching, your yoga stretching system, right? That you had these set of yoga stretches that you would go through in the morning, right? It's a
right,
system, right? If you don't have a, then it doesn't matter. Um,
exactly.
and also, like I feel like what gets complicated is that people make things too hard, right? Just make it as fucking easy as possible. Like the least thought that you have to put into it, the better, right? Like
Right,
again, the system of 12 noon. I do not have to think about that. I don't have to think
right,
about anything. I don't have to think, oh, I can use Instagram before 12 noon. It's just like, nope, just nothing. Like I don't take phone calls. I don't, no one gets at me.
for sure.
And a lot of people can't do that, right? They can't do that system, but I'll bet you they could probably do the opposite on the other end for like an hour. Hey,
At
babe,
night,
can
you
you
mean?
take the kids? I need 1 hour every day for me, no matter
Yeah,
what, 6 days a week, something like that, you know?
right,
Um, and again, it's communicating it to people. And what happens is they start to kind of fall into your reality because your reality becomes stronger. And then people have to sync up to you. Like you'll
yeah,
notice in like a relationship, like a guy and a girl, you see a lot of these women with these guys, and this is just an example, right? I hope I don't get blasted for this, but like you see this like
you
Chad
won't,
guy,
nobody's watching this anyway.
super strong, ripped dude, you know, like got his business going, you know, he's ripped, he's confident, he's got all these things going for him. And you got this girl, right? This kind of like cute girl, whatever, but she just kind of follows him around and just kind of is his arm candy, you know?
Hmm.
He's syncing up with his reality. His reality is so fucking strong. He's built his reality. He's built who he is. He's doing martial arts, whatever it is. And she's just like along with it because his
Right,
reality is so strong. He's just pulling her along, you
right,
know? Um, and I think that's true with a lot of people, right? Like when people speak, we listen to them because they speak confidently, right? I just
for
listened
sure.
to a stand-up comedian say something about how smoking was like actually didn't kill you and it's your genes. And he was telling this so confidently that I actually believed it. And he told the whole thing and he's like, you know what? I'm fucking joking. You guys are idiots. Like, I just sound confident and you believe me. And I was like, wow, that was actually true. Like, whoa. Um, so yeah, sorry, that was a rant, an offshoot. Um, but yeah, getting people to sync up with the reality that you want to create around your digital detox, around who you want to become, because
Hmm.
there's no real reason to detox, to put guardrails around your life, to protect your time and energy, unless you want to build something, unless you want to be somebody that you're not currently, unless
Yeah,
you want to do something that you're not doing currently. Um, that's my big thing,
Yeah.
man, is
Yeah, I mean, I think it's if you want to really realize your true potential, or you're living like out of sync with your belief system and your values already. And I think that's a lot of the reason why people resort to those cheap sources of dopamine in the first place, is just like lack of contentment with their standing in life, their conduct, whatever it is. And the more you're able to resist those little things like that, I think the more confidence and willpower you get. And the easier it is to build on all of that too, like even just something as little as like resisting the urge to check my stock portfolio. I'm not really big on Instagram right now, but like that's one like bad habit that I have, is just like in the middle of the day doing that. Um, and the more you're able to do that, I think it becomes easier to also resist other things that you have weaknesses for too.